All right, we are going to try this again. We got a weird, unlisted section set up where it was not going live. So this one's made public. I'm not sure if it's going to be able to be seen by everybody. I hope so. We'll see what shakes out. We're going to look at Mayfield's day in the divisional round. This is our last one from the 2020 season. 22-17 loss. We'll talk a little bit about some things, my opinion about where the future is going. But for now, we're just going to kind of discuss, how Mayfield's day went, some things that I thought stood out, some things that I thought were a bit of a problem. And then we will touch base a little bit, too, on kind of his future before I put it all in writing Friday. So on the day, 23 of 37, 204 yards, a touchdown, an interception, and a 78 Pro Football Focus grade. Pretty solid. So let's go through these. We'll try to do the play first and then reel it back in, discuss, and do some drawings. If you have questions, let me know. Throw them up. Questions will be answered. Comments, we can only do so much with the time at hand here. So the opening series, 12 personnel. Motion to Njoku out wide. This concept is simple enough. We're going to go back and look at this from the wide view. Okay. What we're trying to get here is typical level stuff. I think we're trying to get Higgins to release outside up the sideline. In this situation, we have Jarvis on a drag. Hooper might check release. The problem here is Sorensen's creeping down, and I think there's a situation if they get an outside release, they can get something up the sideline. Problem is they never get that outside release here, congests everything, and gives them a chance to cover the drag and the outside player here. So Higgins gets bottled up, never gets downfield. I think Jarvis is expecting to sit it down, right? And Baker leads him. You can see Jarvis a little bit frustrated. I think he kind of starts to throttle it down as he comes out here. His head is around, knowing that Sorensen's sitting right there, whoever that safety is. I'm not sure if it's Sorensen or not. Need better spacing here, so not a great start for them. Right next, though, on the drive from Gunn. It's a little pressure we're dealing with from the left guard, Bitonio. Getting bull rushed into the backfield a little bit here. So Mayfield steps up and escapes. He's done a nice job this year of being able to sit in until he has to escape, not forcing the escape, but sitting in and trying to find something until he has to escape. They're going to do a levels concept here where they're trying to get this backside dig. Okay. I'm going to get Hooper to settle at the stick here. I'm going to try to dig into this window and then stem and dig into the window behind. So you're kind of looking to high-low this invert area defender. Trying to get an outside release here. They have it to Njoku. The problem is pressure in Baker's face eliminates the ability to throw this football. Have one of the two. If they have a chance to drive up in the pocket, sit in and throw it, you have Njoku coming into this window here, or if this defender chases 85, he has Landry working into this window. But when he steps up, the right tackle, Conklin's already lost his man, so he's got to get out of the pocket. And as he gets out of the pocket, right, he just has to try to make a play. This ball actually does hit Austin Hooper's hands. Unfortunately, is not a completion. Thought Hooper had a real chance at that catch. Okay, next play on the drive. Chiefs were doing this all day, which is really unique. They were playing a form of cover two or cover two man, depending on the situation, and they were taking Tyrann Mathieu, Honey Badger, dropping him into shallow hook here, right, middle hook, and wheeling out a safety one way or the other to get to too high. whether here, or here, to get to 2 high safeties with a sitting middle hook, like an inverted Tampa 2 almost. It's a pretty unique thing that they were doing there. Mayfield handled it pretty well. He deciphers this quickly, gets a feel that he can't push this ball downfield. You'll see Sorensen wide run. Juan Thornhill runs to the backside hash. So this one's a little, looks like it might be some cover 6 here. But he does a great job of reading that this curl flat defender sinks and that his quick flat route is the best option. So that's a really nice read by Mayfield there to pick up a first down on a 2nd and long, I believe. 5-step drop in rhythm, good throw, good catch, first down. Now it's 2nd and 12. They had a negative run. They ran a little pitch to Jarvis that they tried to get cued on, didn't really pan out. So you're getting, at this point, what's called simulated pressure, stand-up creepers, called those two. These guys who are threatening to come, you have to evaluate which guys are coming and which guys are not coming. That's kind of your job here, is to decipher which way to send protection. Sends protection left. He obviously has his running back to the left side for extra protection off his left side. The Chiefs end up overloading this and really making it man. And, they drop a D lineman out, so they fire zone, what's called a fire zone, dropping a interior defensive lineman out. And they overload this right side, and it leads to a untouched pressure. Center guard, tandem on the 3 technique. And Mayfield doesn't have a chance here. And nobody's really running a short route. I mean, you got Rashard Higgins getting congested here. You get a free release from Peoples-Jones at the top. And then you have deeper routes being run by Hooper. Deeper route being run here by Landry. Nobody's really open that gives Baker a chance. So just kudos to the Chiefs for scheming that up. Okay, first half versus second half question. How did I feel about play calling? I thought they solved some stuff in the run game in the second half. So I think that shotgun counter power run game, gap scheme stuff started to become really effective for them in the second half, and they found much better balance. Chiefs played the outside zone, wide zone stuff very well, and they played the boot very well too, which was a concern that I had going back and watching how the Chiefs played the Vikings and Stefanski in 2019. So keep that in mind. I thought the second half was much smoother. They just didn't get enough possessions. Now, what you would eventually like is to Baker to be able to make this man off the edge miss. Not an easy ask. This is a NFL defensive back, but if he can make that man miss, that's kind of the next step in his playmaking progression. Talked about adding speed at receiver. Let this play run. You think Baker could be even more improved with the speed of the near, or is he at near ceiling? I think they need an offense that stretches the field vertically. Teams are not afraid to press down and play what I call shallow hook zones, right? I feel like they're not afraid of being beat deep at all. There's never really a fear of it. So everything gets congested at the second level. And I think first and second levels, and I think they need an element of taking the top off of defenses that really puts secondary players, especially deep coverage players, on their heels a little bit, Matt. So I think they need a speed guy. They have a quarterback with a really powerful arm in Baker, and I think that can unlock another level for him and this offense in general. So I definitely feel like that's an important part. This is third down of that first drive. It's 3rd and 20 now. Just a simple slant flat. Both sides of the screen, slant flat. Nothing downfield that's going to threaten getting a first down. You get 2 slants from your outside guys with the flat route, so you're just throwing it to try to improve field goal position. That's ultimately what they do. Now their second possession, which is in the second quarter. Okay, play action. Trying to get a double move at the top of the screen from Rashard Higgins. So if you pay attention up here, Peoples-Jones is going to sell run and then block, be an extra blocker. Jarvis is going to sell inside run, then push to the flat. Higgins is trying to sell, chop his feet, come back, and take off. They ran this for a big gain against Philadelphia early this year for a 42-yard gain up the sideline. Very similar concept. Off boot. Cornerback does not even remotely fall for the comeback, so now you're in a congested situation. Tries to come back late. Jarvis does a good job getting his hips flipped, and Baker gets it out to him. It's a nice job getting out, making a play, picking up some positive yards. Again, talking about what the Chiefs did for most of this game, something different than what the Browns do, because the Chiefs have no fear of really being consistently beat deep, which is, they weren't afraid to run fire zones with creepers, but they also weren't afraid to run, man free and say, hey, we're going to man up everywhere and dare you to beat us over the top with a perfect throw and catch, right? That's what they did. They weren't afraid of it. There was no fear whatsoever with switching these things up. Something Cleveland with Kansas City speed did not feel comfortable doing, which is, in my opinion, justified. This throw here is just a perfect throw from Mayfield to Peoples-Jones, right? Just outside shoulder. As a quarterback, you're taught to kind of leave it over his outside shoulder so that he can use the body to shield. Nice pitch and catch right there. Perfectly done. But that's what it takes when you're playing defense like that. It takes a perfect throw and catch. This is a dagger concept. The Browns now, this is unfortunate because they get a hold on Wyatt Teller. But on this drive, you're running vertical, digging in behind it, trying to open up and fill this window right here. They do a great job. Mayfield comes off of this, throws a good ball, on time, accurate. Rashard leans inside a little bit. That's okay. Baker could have tried to throw this window right now, but he was patient with it. Did a nice job of sitting in and finding the dig. It's a good ball, good catch. The unfortunate part is this right guard here is called for holding, and now it's 1st and 20. So instead of being 1st and 10, at about the 20-yard line, it's 1st and 20, and you're still back on your own 45. This is the type of stuff that completely changes drives. So now you're in empty, right? He can go right side, left side. Probably has Peoples-Jones on the top side hash, but he also has Nick Chubb running a little pivot route here. Okay, he's driving inside and then kicking it back to the sideline. If it's a catch, it's a 5-6 yard gain, making it 2nd and short. But it's not. This is the next play. So then on 2nd down of this drive, if you guys recall, they run a screen. Nick dropped that one. So a tough stretch there from 24. But I didn't think Baker missed that. So 3rd down here, it's tough. You're trying to run maybe a dig concept into this window, but this curl flat linebacker is perfectly sitting in the window. They have him outnumbered here 4/2 to the high side. He tries to dump it off to Kareem, but the ball gets batted down at the line of scrimmage. He catches it, takes off with it. So not, I'm fine with this. It's almost an impossible down and distance, 3rd and 20, given what they have personnel-wise, and they did the best they could. So now we're coming out. This is how quick this game went. You guys have counted the possessions with me. They're on their 3rd offensive possession in the first half. That's all they got. 3 offensive possessions in the first half. Now at the 3-minute mark in the 2nd quarter, they got to try to find a way to score. Trying to run a high side dig, which has a chance to be open. But actually, KC just covers it really well. We talked earlier about this, more man-to-man coverage. They ran man here. They traded off those routes well. You got your tight end to the top side here, check releasing late. He's covered. Nobody's really open. Defense wins this rep. Mayfield just has to get rid of it. And this is what the Browns are trying to find. They're trying to find more guys who against man coverage can create separation. They don't have it enough, not consistently enough. And it makes the degree of difficulty of the throws Mayfield is trying to make extremely challenging. Trying to throw the hitch to the left side here. You can see kind of trying to run, a timing back shoulder hitch. Higgins is being completely mauled up here with this receiver. This official has no eyes on it. He gets pulled to the ground. Baker tries to come back. He's a little bit late trying to find his tight end. Okay, Njoku's check releasing. So Njoku's blocking this end here. Check releasing into a middle of the field dig route. And he just kind of improvises here. I think he's running a stick, but he kind of feels where the open void is. Ball's just delivered a little bit late. So, when Baker's looking left side and his wide receiver just gets mauled, and then his left guard gets put back in his face. Chris Jones is a handful here for Bitonio. So by the time he tries to come back, he's got to try to figure out where to go with it, and it almost turns into a bit of a disaster there, but it doesn't, luckily. So 2nd and 11 now, same drive. Again, going to get man-to-man across the board. So Mayfield's trying to find an answer here. What answer can he find? He feels good about trying to take Peoples-Jones on this deep ball. Problem is, Peoples-Jones, the ball's not perfectly placed. And this is what I'm talking about, the degree of difficulty on these throws. The ball's not perfectly placed. And Peoples-Jones is trying to go get this football and ends up pushing off at the last second. And then it's a 15-yard penalty. So now you're even deeper buried, 2nd and 20. So this is the rhythmic struggles of this Browns offense in this situation. So now they're trying to push downfield. They're trying to run 2 benders. Okay. With a drag mixed in. So you got here trying to work into zone voids, a drag route, and an outside comeback. So you're trying to figure out and decipher what coverage is, and then you got to try to decipher and figure out where your best option is based on what the defense is doing. So it looks like to me they're playing some form of too high. They roll down. It's essentially cover 3. Does a good job here, Baker does, of feeling out, working his eyes left, coming back right to Njoku and ripping this ball. That's a great throw. It's a really fantastic throw on a 2nd and extremely long. Especially working left side to right side and putting that ball up where his tight end could go get it. And credit to David Njoku for making, hell of a catch too. So you got new life on this drive finally. Running just a simple Texas route out of the backfield here. You were hoping to see a little bit more of this with Kareem. Didn't see a ton of it. Going to see a Texas route. Get a holding call on this linebacker here. Well, whatever you want to call Sorensen, he's a hybrid for them. Gets the arm wrapped around, and that's another penalty. So you get a 1st down. It's the right read. It's the right throw. Back out and empty now. Has Njoku right away. I think the safety's squatting on it. Right, it's man. He's probably just a beat late, and he throws it high. It's not. This would be graded as a negative throw. Have to put, this is something that Baker's got to continue to work on. When he feels the need to throw over the top of hands that are going up, the ball's tending to sail high. Something he has got to continue to work on is kind of pulling the ball down over taller defenders, or he's going to have continually high miss issues. You're going to get a nice stem out. This is a good job by Higgins, and this is a really great throw from Mayfield. Kind of feels Higgins getting held there, has to double clutch, but in terms of right on the money, if he's a beat behind, this ball's knocked down. He's right on time with it, accurate with it. Great throw. It's a great throw and a nice route to get a little bit of separation necessary for that throw. So still in the same drive now. This one is fun. This is his best read, deciphering, anticipatory throw of the day. Chiefs are going to do what they've been doing, right? Playing that cover 2, inverted Tampa stuff. They're going to roll Badger to the middle. here, low hole, right? All that funky stuff. They're trying to confuse Baker's eyes, and he does a great job here. He's reading left side first. Wants to find either this little square in or this vertical bender route here over the top, but 32 is sitting on it. Doesn't feel good about it. Notices that 49's hips are turned facing this direction, so if he tries to fit this football into this little window right here, it's going to be congested. So what does he do? He comes back. 82 inside releases on this, and then works his way back to the sideline. And there's an opening right here, and it should have been, I'm not even going to show it. Not even going to show it. I don't even want to talk about it. Should have been a touchdown. Nice job by Mayfield staying calm in the pocket. Should have been a touchdown, but it wasn't. So frustrating stuff. You end the half down 19-3 at the end of the whole deal after Kansas City goes down and kicks a field goal. So you come out in the second half now. You got a left side slant flat combination. Top side two stick routes. Okay. He's kind of deciphering. He can go here. He can go here. He can come to the flat. This is bottled up. This is man coverage. This is tight enough. Takeoff by his fullback, kind of just a distraction route. Probably could have thrown right, but I don't no problem throwing the slant. It's just a nice play by the defender. Ball was thrown accurately, too. Just a nice play. Right? You could argue it could have been put out in front a little bit more, but, 21's hanging all over him. You really can't argue that it could have been put out in front more. That was a fine throw. Just 21's hanging all over him. Chiefs played man coverage well all day. I mean, the Browns have to find ways to beat man coverage. They got to be faster. They got to be quicker. They got to be more nuanced in their route running to consistently get open against that coverage. Now, this is the interception. So I've watched this thing several times. It's pretty gross. So again, Chiefs do the same thing they've been doing. Away from the trip side, they are going to roll down. Right? They're going to roll back, low hole it. Play your little cloud flat concept here. Be ready for anything in the flat. Browns are running bender, daggering it. And this play in football games, guys, there are some times where scramble drills happen and things just break your way. And, on this outside release at the top of the field here, I've seen this happen one other time to Baker this year. I think it was maybe Washington. Could have also been the Texans game. I don't know. It's all a blur. He missed this. And I think when he watches film, he's going to be quite frustrated because as he rolls out to his right here, he sees Jarvis, but he never sees the sideline, and the sideline is running away from him. And it's disheartening with the reaction, how few chances they have. And that's not a guarantee. He's rolling right. He's got to make a throw on the run. He's got to put it down on the 40-yard line. It's not a guarantee it gets caught, but it's an opportunity for a really big play. Instead, he kind of throws late across his body, trying to find Jarvis. And obviously we know the result is an interception. You'll see here from the end zone view how 32 is squatting on this. He passes it off because he knows the backside safety is going to be able to handle it. He can't. He's trying to, with his finger, pull, trying to pull this defender, trying to make him think he's looking this direction. And I think what he's trying to do is put the football back in here, but it's just too cute. It's an unnecessary risk and probably his only really bad throw of the game. And just a bad decision. Can't do it. You get lucky that the Chiefs don't score there. That's before Mahomes goes out. So Mahomes is still in at that point. You like I said, you get lucky they miss that field goal. So they come back out and they start running a little bit, right? They start running the football pretty well. They go with that counter scheme from the gun, and it's effective. They get into split back concept here, although Jarvis is not a running back. Obviously, he's just rolling to the high side on a swing route. You get a settle. You're trying to see if you can press this cover three. Catch him in the right blitz, stare down the blitz. Nice inside release by Higgins and a good ball, good catch. End zone view gives you a good feel for the 1, 2, 3, ball out, staring down the blitz in a tight window. Right? You can't be behind it all on this. Got to be right out in front of him, away from the defender, allows Higgins to go get it. Right? Good ball, good catch. Remember, we eliminate screens. We eliminate all runs, obviously, guys. Just looking at quarterback play here, kind of isolating things. Play action here. This is an interesting one. I think they're trying to catch the Chiefs off guard. I've seen Stefanski run this before down in the goal line situation. He's selling into a post corner here, or a banana route. Some people call it a banana route. He's selling the tight end on wide zone and then wheeling him back opposite and turns his back. And Jarvis is just trying to sit in this hole right here and see if he can come up without any defender sitting on him. So interesting little scheme that the Chiefs defend well, as they did all game. They defended all of the boot stuff well. They just have a man sitting on it, and then 2nd and 1, it turns into a no-gain play. So kudos to them. They defended well. The eye discipline of the Chiefs defense was really good. I mean, where are you throwing that, guys? There's nowhere to throw it. That's an interception. That's an interception. That's a kill shot. The only guy is 80, and they have a guy sitting on him. Linebacker being, patient, getting back into his drop and being right where he needs to be. This one's a fun little wrinkle, I think, if I'm looking at the right play, kind of in and out. Used to call that zoom motion. You're selling front side, wide zone, getting and hoping the Chiefs would do what they've done all game, is kind of wheel back and be prepared for the boot fake back opposite. But they do a nice job here of getting Jarvis isolated, and Jarvis he runs a great route. He runs a great stutter route. If you can get your eyes on 80 right here, boom, boom, 2 steps, open up the window, 4-yard touchdown. That's a fun little pass. I think that was a nicely designed scheme. If you're getting some man, Hooper blocks the backside. Right? You ultimately, too, if we go back and look at that, you have a late releasing. Peoples-Jones is here for something too, but 32 is also sitting there. So, this is a big touchdown at this point. Makes it 19-10. Got some momentum going. Good throw, good catch. And again, we've seen 5 offensive possessions this entire game. This is the 6th offensive possession for the Browns. You heard that right. They've only run 6 possessions. Boot fake. They're trying to get what they got earlier this year on the Colts. If you remember the Colts game, they ran this boot concept where they're trying to sell what's called a smash concept, which is a hitch on the outside, a post corner, hitch on the top side off of the play fake, but they were going to break tendency here and bring him back to the middle of the field. If you remember early in the Colts game, they hit this throw for a big gain, but this time the Chiefs are sitting on it perfectly. Right defense at the right time. Right? He's trying to sell, push back opposite, but they pass it off, and there's nobody open. You throw it away. Let's go ask, what's the chance we can beat man coverage consistently with this wide receiver core? It's not consistently as great as you would like it to be. So they need to add Odell back. They need to go get a speed player and try to mix in all of their different elements here to beat man coverage a little bit more consistently. It's not as great as you would hope it would be. Njoku running a little pivot route over the middle here against man everywhere. I mean, you notice it, guys. I'm not making this stuff up. Like, the Chiefs are up in the face, man. Like, when the ball snapped, who's playing middle here? Who's defending middle of the field? There's nobody there. They're not afraid of being beat deep. There's no fear whatsoever. So, they got a bracket coverage here. They got a linebacker or a safety one-on-one with Njoku. There's no fear. Njoku runs a nice little pivot route on Tyrann Mathieu here, but he's going to defend him. He's going to eventually make a play on him. It's a 4-yard gain. It's just challenging. It's challenging personnel-wise. Okay, another boot that they are looking to confuse the defense with. Pretty simple. Going to run a post here to try to take off deep coverage, and then you're going to get an out and wheel it up the sideline. They got Pittsburgh on this route concept earlier in the year for an open throw for a big gain in Pittsburgh. You probably don't remember it because it happened when the score was already pretty ugly. The Chiefs defend it perfectly. I mean, who are you throwing to? There's nobody open. You got to throw it away. The Chiefs defended Boots all game really well. And, Jace asked, is this the tightest coverage we've seen? Feels like we usually had guys more open consistently. Yeah, this is extremely tight coverage from Kansas City. They defended Stefanski's on offense really well in 2019 with Minnesota. Thought they defended this one beautifully too. So shout out to Steve Spagnuolo, who had a nice game plan and wasn't afraid to play man coverage and dare Browns tight ends and wide receivers to beat them all game, to which they didn't. The Browns did maybe perhaps enough to win, but not consistently enough. Only putting up 17 points. They could have put up 24, but they only put up 17. You're going to get drive concept here. All right, so we're going to get a shallow or drag. You're going to get a dig over top of it. Check release here. Going to get an inside release to a corner here. So you're kind of just deciphering if it's man coverage, who's your best option off the snap. You're right, Brian. It was tight like Baltimore. That's how Baltimore plays. Aggressive defense at the line of scrimmage. They're going to hold you. They're going to be physical. That's what Kansas City did. And the Browns do need, the ability to play this way on their defense too. That's what the goal should be. So off play action, right read, right throw. Just, 80's not really running away from anybody. So he is caught from behind here, and it's a minimal gain. It's a 5-yard gain. They come right back to it, though. The next time they run a throw, try to get to the wide view here from 3-by-1, 11 personnel. Right, they come back to it with almost a double drive concept here with try to rewind it and draw this one up for you. Okay, so they're sending here, shallow. He's extending, selling outside, coming back, and you get over the top right away. Deep over route that Higgins runs here that does a nice job of beating coverage. Higgins is one of the guys who does a pretty good job with beating man coverage. Gets the hand, swipes the hands off right there. Baker delivers. Give Baker a window to throw it, man. He's pretty good at it. So good throw, good catch. Now into the fourth quarter. Again, just their 6th offensive possession of the game. Just trying to illustrate how few possessions you get in a game. I think we are at a 3rd and let's see the situation here. This comes quick. 3rd and 3. Again, man-to-man coverage, walk down in the face. Motion gives it away. He's chasing the motion man now to 3-by-1. Trying to get a form of mesh here between Higgins and Landry. But at the same time, you get a quick speed out by 85, and that's enough to get a first down, right? Njoku's one of their better tight end separators, obviously. He's one of their best athletes. So nice call, nice catch. Now on 2nd and 6, they're just going to run this concept that they run. Kind of that little pick flat concept. Just trying to cross up these 2 defenders here and give yourself an open underneath throw. I hope I'm thinking of the right one here. I'm actually not. I'm an idiot. This is one too soon. So you catch the Chiefs in a full-out blitz, 0 blitz here. And, they're bringing this fella, all of these here, except for the man 49 who's covering the tight end. It's a true 0 blitz. Jarvis has to get his head around, snap it around, and catch it. On 3rd and 6 or 2nd and 6, you got to be able to get your head around quick. This could have been disaster. So that's on 80. The ball's got to be out quick by his quarterback. He's got to catch it quick. He's got to get his head around, his hands around, catch it. Seems like we don't run many, if any, RPOs from the gun, even though Baker did well with those last year. Yeah, I think there's some element of RPO stuff that Baker's done throughout his career. Stefanski is not an RPO coach. Now, as they grow closer and more comfortable in this offense, I do think it could, Jason, become a part of what they do next year. This is the play I was just talking about earlier. Little pick route, trying to make the corner run the arc. He's going to go over top. You hope that you can get this for a little bit more yardage than 3 or 4 yards, but it only nets them 3 on 3rd and 6. So now you're looking at 4th and 2. Yeah, Jay, so there are levels concepts that this offense has, and sometimes those guys who can be right behind other guys are because of delayed releases from the line of scrimmage. They don't get out in time or they get jammed, right? So that can happen. I don't think it's a constant thing in this offense, but it was Sunday when they were getting held up at the line of scrimmage. So you're getting mesh here. This is the old Chip Kelly mesh concept. What you're getting, let's see if I can draw this up right. Getting here, 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 back out in the flat. I think you're going to get an outside release go here. What you're trying to do is read the mesh. If you can throw the mesh, one of these two with a man chasing, throw it, right? If these two guys are in zone and he chases here, maybe he chases here, vice versa, or he squats here, you got this sitting middle curl. On this play, they don't even realize 27 releases, and they never 32 is kind of late scooting over here, and they don't really even cover Njoku. So I'm really thankful this play worked out for Baker. He would have been sick. Kareem releases with nobody because there's a delayed blitz from the mic. Nobody picks him up. I mean, 32 is here for Njoku, but it's an easy throw and catch for a first down. He makes the most difficult throw possible. I'm not sure Baker remembered his back was out here, because if he remembered his back was out, it's an easy dump off and Kareem's probably scoring. Nonetheless, he throws completion. It works out. It's a hell of a throw and catch, really fading away with Hooper being absolutely blanketed. It's a great, it's a great result. Not a great process, but a great result. 2nd and 3, they try to run a very similar concept we've seen on the goal line quite a bit. Just, sort of an isolation levels concept where you're getting a square in and an out route over top of it. They just missed this throw. I think if he puts it on the money, Higgins has a real chance to catch this one. He puts it probably the only spot he can. I actually don't think this is all too bad of a throw. Higgins needs to get his other hand up to try to go get this, the right and the left. But they missed this on 2nd down. But the beautiful part is they score a touchdown on the next play. So now it's 22-17, and this is the 7th. Again, the 7th is all the more possessions they had. Right? 7 possessions. Under center, they've done a nice job of getting this swing route from their 5-step under center stuff, 7-step under center stuff. They've had opportunities to throw this. They've done a nice job. Nick makes one man miss before he goes down, but it makes it 2nd and 5. They end up losing a yard on a run, so now it's 3rd and 6. Okay, it's a form or variation of a snag route. So what you're getting here, against man-to-man coverage, he's going to press inside and then pivot back to the sideline. Then you're going to get an outside release go and then an out route over top of it for what ends up being layers. I think Baker's done a better job, Brian, of dumping it off, but you're right. It's something he has to continue to get a feel for, when to use his backs, when he should and when he shouldn't. I think he's done better at it. It's an accurate throw. Nice move from Higgins. Almost picks up this first down on 3rd and 6. It ends up being 4th and 1, in which they end up sneaking it, getting a first down. So this drive is still alive now inside 4 minutes. On first down, they run a run play concept. They run pin pull that gets blown up in the backfield. 2nd and 12. I documented this on Twitter. On 2nd down, they run a screen that the Chiefs run the perfect fire zone against and sitting right on the screen. So now you're at 3rd and 12, which is, a tough situation because the Chiefs are going to play bail coverage. Okay, they're playing their cover 2. They played a ton of cover 2. The most frustrating part is that if Baker has time, this dig is working into a window that he can complete it. Unfortunately, he has to throw here. Doesn't allow anything else to really threaten. There's no threat here, but this window right here, I think, is an open throw that they can make. Unfortunately, the guard gets pressured. Beat. Baker can't step up in time. And it has to be, 95 here beats Wyatt Teller. And, as Baker's, you got to remember, he's working left side first. So his peripheral is not on 95. He's working left side Hooper first. He comes back right side. And as he comes back, the pressure's already in his face. So it's really tough for him to step, slide, and kick left. Instead, he has to get rid of it to avoid a sack. And, at that point, it's not going to net enough yardage. You're asking Kareem to pull off the impossible. They punt it, and the ball never comes back. 7 possessions for your Cleveland Browns. That's all the more they get. They get 29 minutes of the football, but not enough conversions. 6 of 13 on 3rd down, only 308 net yards. Kudos to the Chiefs, who really did a fine job of challenging Baker and his receivers all game long, making them uncomfortable, playing cover 2, playing zero blitz, playing single high man, playing, man free, just challenging man-to-man stuff to make the Browns work for every yard, not necessarily blitzing like the Ravens do, but getting up in Browns receivers' faces and making it a real challenge for them. So you could certainly tell the Chiefs were more fresh. You could certainly tell the Chiefs were more prepared coming off of 2 weeks off, essentially, and it mattered. So, at the end of the day, too, remember that the Browns are they're one drive away from getting a chance to go to the AFC Championship. They're on the cusp. They have to change up some things they do offensively in terms of some redundant skill sets at the wide receiver position and tight end position. If they do that, I think that they will be okay ultimately. We'll see. It'll be the most fascinating Browns offseason we have seen in a really long time. So this is a wrap for Baker's Film Rooms from a game-to-game perspective 2020. I will put out a Baker film cumulative check on how he improved throughout the year and how I have now a ton of faith in what he can become and what he has become and what I think he can continue to become for this franchise. So, check that out at the OBR. Keep your eye out. I appreciate you subscribing to this channel, checking these out all year long. Most of the time, these are subscriber only. So do yourself a favor and go check us out. We got a ton of prospect videos we're going to be putting up. It's $1 for your first month to try us out. That's all we ask. I really appreciate it. Appreciate you guys checking this stuff out. This will be up on YouTube right after this, so you can rewatch it. We appreciate your time and your investment in this football team and your investment in us. And until we talk next time here in the coming weeks, go Browns.